Rise and shine, everyone. It is 6 o'clock here on this finally Friday. Just about made it to the weekend here, even though a lot of people's weekends plans are kind of sketchy right now.
We were going to go ice skating, John, but unfortunately, I think it's just not going to be great.
No, I mean, it's going to be really tough. I'm bummed out about it because I want to do all the winter activities too. My kids want to go ice fishing, and I'm like, we got to wait maybe a couple weeks. And with the warmth, we get dense fog advisories. Now, if you're just joining us here at 6, we canceled an advisory at 5 o'clock out in St. Cloud and Brainerd. Already see improvements in Hennepin County. That includes the Twin Cities. But just south of the cities, even Carver County, even Eden Prairie, we're seeing more fog. So you can see that in Mankato and Rochester. But improvements in areas that needed it yesterday, a very dense fog in St. Cloud. So you can see a little thicker in Carver County, like I said. So Carver County still has this, and Ramsey County also has the advisory. But even out there, seeing some slight improvements. This is patchy, dense fog. It probably won't slow you down. Most importantly, we are dealing with temperatures in the middle 30s. Very warm start today. Talk about the record warmth next week in your forecast. Megan?
Looking at Little Canada right now. Good morning to the folks in Little Canada, where we are seeing some fog out there at 694 and 35E. As John mentioned, though, we're not seeing any slippery road conditions, not seeing that slush that we were seeing yesterday. So we can handle this. This is nothing compared to what we've seen the last couple days. But do make sure you've got your low beams on, because, of course, it could be a bit difficult when you're out there as far as visibility goes. Alicia.
Megan, thanks. Hey, we've been following breaking news right now out of South Minneapolis.
Yeah, a car crashes through a tobacco shop just hours ago, and we were the first ones on that scene. Take a look. This is brand new video right after it happened. Shortly before 2 a.m. down the road from 46th and Nicollet, you can see a car inside the shop and the front of the store smashed wide open. So our Cece Gaines is there right now with new details about what happened. Cece, what can you tell us?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we've been here since about 2:30 this morning, and as of 6 o'clock, the mess is cleaned up. I'll actually give you a look behind me at how things look right now. About 30 minutes ago, a crew did show up to drop off some material here. You can see right across the way just to board this place up. But again, it's looking much better than it did at 2:30 this morning. It was a much messier scene. If you take a look at your screen, you can see the car in question being pulled out of the store by a tow truck. You can see the car looks pretty beat up. Along with police, a forensics team was here this morning taking samples from the car and the shop. A tow truck took the car away around 3:30. I was able to speak with the owner a couple hours ago, and he was out here cleaning up the mess with his family, and he told me he got a call from police around 1:30, 1:40 this morning, and he rushed over here, and they've been cleaning up since about 2 this morning. Now they're just kind of hanging out. But he says this isn't the first time this has happened to his store. He says it's actually happened a couple of times over the last 3 to 4 years, once in 2020 and once in 2021. Now, the owner said that they're going to board up the front and then open as usual at 9 o'clock this morning. We're still waiting for confirmation from the owner, though, to see if anything was stolen here this morning. Guys.
Cece Gaines reporting live for us. Thanks for that update. We are also following breaking news out of Edina right now. People are back in their apartments after a fire forced them to evacuate a few hours ago. This is video from the scene just after midnight. The fire chief tells us when crews got to the building on West 77th Street, they found smoke and a small fire in a trash chute. The sprinklers were activated. Once inside, crews put the fire out relatively quickly. As of right now, we do not know how this fire started. Another big story we've been talking about all morning, pretty much all week, is the end of January warm-up and the dangerous ice conditions it's now causing.
Michelle Beck is live at Lake Minnetonka with a warning for anyone with a fish house on the ice right now. Michelle.
Hey, good morning to you guys. We heard John saying this just a few minutes ago. We are in the mid-30s right now, and it's only going to get warmer. This is not your normal winter, and these are not your normal ice conditions. Now, even without this warm-up, Minnesota DNR's ice safety coordinator tells us the ice is still thinner and weaker than it is normally this time of year. What's most problematic, she says, is this combination, back-to-back warm days, rain, and the wind. She repeated this message multiple times in our conversation. Do not take out vehicles or heavy equipment as you would this time of year. Also consider taking wheelhouses or ice houses off the ice before it gets too dangerous.
There have been more fatalities this winter than the past winters. It's been higher than our 10-year average for the past 10 years. So we hopefully can get the message out to tell people that the ice is not normal this year and to be extra cautious that we don't have any more fatalities this winter.
And I found some data on the DNR's website. As of earlier this month, we know 4 people have died so far this winter season related to ice here. In about 30 minutes, I'll tell you about all the necessary precautions the DNR wants you to take. Guys.
It's just not our year, unfortunately. But of course, great reminders, Michelle. Thanks so much.
And another casualty here of the warmer weather is the U.S. Pond Hockey Championships, which was about to enter its final weekend. Unfortunately, it was called off about 16 hours ago. This is the first time in the event's 19 years it's been canceled due to weather. Organizers say they couldn't confidently hold the competition knowing players' safety would be at risk because of those ice conditions.
Trying to push it a week, well, it's going to be 50 degrees next week possibly. So we just knew it was the right and the safe thing to do.
Last week, and they said the ice was the best it's ever been, and then over a span of 3 or 4 days, now it's like soup.
I think we could skate on it just fine, but the puck wouldn't move, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, so while this is a big disappointment for the nearly 1,000 players, many of them are now buying tickets to other hockey events in town, which is great for the local economy. Also, some have even started a Facebook group to schedule some ice time and plan to play today in Bloomington.
Hopefully they can enjoy Minnesota, those who flew in here for sure. Well, this morning we are following fallout just hours after a tense city council meeting in Princeton involving the city's fire chief and his future with the city. The meeting was packed last night, filled with firefighters from the department saying they can no longer work under Fire Chief Ron Lawrence's leadership. They talked about problems like neglected gear and dwindling communication. The assistant chief says 2/3 of the department plan to quit by February 8th if the city didn't fire Lawrence. The chief is now retiring, but the city could still hire him as Princeton's emergency manager.
Why do we think that it is acceptable to give him a lateral move to a different responsible position that I have to pay for?
Firefighters say they plan to continue with the resignation if the new title would allow Lawrence to have any power over the fire department. Lawrence is expected to officially retire on March 1st.
I'm Carla Holt. A liquor store with a history of violence officially begins a new chapter. The Minneapolis City Council approved the liquor license for Merwin Liquors under the management of TXT Wine and Spirits. That company is owned by Trey Pollard, who also runs We Push for Peace. Pollard says the corner of Lyndale and Broadway Avenues North will now mark the intersection of his company and his community mission. He says his team has already helped reduce the violence. Now he plans to buy the property before he, quote, reimagines the space with input from the community.
6:08 on the clock. An update this morning in the search for a new state cannabis director. After a major stumble with the first hire, the state is now hiring a recruiter to expand its search nationwide. This morning, we're also learning the governor's office skipped steps in the standard background check process before hiring Erin Dupree last fall. That's according to a new report by the state auditor. Dupree was forced to resign from the position last year, shortly after being announced. After reports she had tax liens against her business and sold illegal products there. The auditor says a review from the State Department of Revenue could have uncovered the liens, but the forms were sent to the BCA instead. We're told there will not be a special investigation into the hiring.
6:09.